everybody, this is Rod Melton, the Book of Mormon evidence guy. I'm sitting here in Davis County Convention Center in Layton, Utah, with my good friend Loy Brunson here, who's probably way more well known than I am as far as this is concerned. But we've been having this Firm Foundation Expo and the 36th International Book of Mormon Evidence Conference. But you've had a chance to actually even talk a couple times here the last little bit. But you have some pretty amazing news, and this is really relevant because you've got a book coming out. But I want you to tell us a little bit about this book, The Constitution of the United States of America, Full Text of America's Founding Documents. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's coffee table size, and this is the first publication ever in America's history that clearly proves that socialism is not only not supported, but it's actually prohibited within the document.
Wait. You're telling me the Constitution of the United States says something about prohibiting socialism?
It absolutely is. I can explain that if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have discoveries in this book, and to prove that I have discoveries, I'll make a point with the first 10 amendments are not officially titled the Bill of Rights. And to me, that was a mistake to call them the Bill of Rights because it hides the real power of the first 10 amendments that were defined by the first Congress as further declaratory restrictive clauses to the Constitution. Rhode Island wouldn't even sign on to the Constitution until those declaratory restrictive clauses were in place and supported.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so this has real implications for really what's going on right now in America in one of its biggest cities. In New York, we have a mayoral candidate, Mamdani, I think his name is.
Yeah.
That is, as I understand it, I think he's openly communist.
Absolutely. Well, look at Bernie Sanders, openly socialist, and he's a U.S. senator, and none of his colleagues in the U.S. Senate has ever called him on it using the Constitution.
Oh,
it's just bizarre, and I can go into that clause if you want to explain that.
Yeah, so, if you would. And then, oh man, we've got so much to talk about, but go ahead.
Okay. The first 10 amendments are further declaratory restrictive clauses. One of those amendments is the 5th, and the last line of the 5th says, "Nor shall your private property be taken for public use without just compensation."
Which is the definition of socialism.
Absolutely. And so why isn't our senatorial representatives calling Bernie Sanders on this and saying, you just took an oath to this document and you're violating the Constitution clearly? So this is the first publication ever to do that. So what we're going to do, maybe we can do it together, is get a group together and go to Washington, D.C. and personally deliver one of these. Plus I have the pocket size here that we can do. We can have 5 or 6 of these others. Go to Washington, D.C. Maybe we could just start on one party first and personally deliver to each office a hard copy for the office and then a smaller one for the staff.
Maybe we'll give them some cases of them so they can pass it out to everybody.
That's possible, absolutely. And see right here on the cover it says, plus how and why promoting socialism is unconstitutional. Promoting is unconstitutional. So we get this to them and they go, wait a second. Hey, Bernie, have you looked at the Constitution lately? Have you looked at the last line of the 5th Amendment?
Yes.
And it's ignorance. Thomas Jefferson said it. He said, the only true corrective for constitutional abuse is education. So let's simply and effectively educate the Congress by giving them copies of this.
But then we also somehow need to get them to have enough of a spine to actually take action on and upholding their oath to the Constitution of the United States.
Absolutely, and that's about the Brunson lawsuit too. But once we get this in their hands and they see that, and then there's discussion about it, it's got, oh my gosh, someone has read the Constitution about socialism, we've got a problem.
Okay, well, you just mentioned something. The Supreme Court lawsuit by the Brunson brothers, basically, and you're part of that whole thing. Tell us what's going on with that.
Okay.
This is so powerful, but if it actually can come to pass, or I should say, when it comes to pass, this is going to be huge.
Well, that's very misunderstood, and a lot of people think it said, I'm the plaintiff. Just me.
Yeah.
Me. I'm the plaintiff. My brother is a plaintiff of another lawsuit, but mine is the one that got to the Supreme Court under their Rule 11, which allowed me to bypass the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals. And it's like what you said. It's really about the oath of office being binding. Article 6 of the Constitution requires a binding oath. Now, we sued in federal court. The federal court unfiled it. We sued the federal court. We got them to reverse their decision, allow it to move forward. Now people think it's dead, but it's not dead. The U.S. Solicitor General took over from the U.S. attorneys defending the defendants, and that was Biden's person. But now we have Trump's person as the attorney that would be supervising the case for the defendants. So what I believe is going to happen is down the road a bit, because the 2020 election has not been settled. And as that begins to settle more, this case can be used to help resolve the problems and issues associated with the 2020 election. So now that we have a new U.S. Solicitor General that's a Trump-appointed Solicitor General who is President Trump's #1 legal counsel, who has successfully argued for Trump in front of the Supreme Court justices, now he can get a conference. But I'm thinking wait until we have another justice replaced with someone that I think would be better. And Donald Trump has already picked Ted Cruz. It could be anyone to replace the justices. But that's pretty interesting because Ted Cruz is the one that headed up the 10-day pause for a 10-day investigation into the mountain of evidence they had proving that we had been attacked, almost like it could be a military attack through our very sensitive election process. And so with this new Solicitor General, that's a game changer. It could get back on the docket and we could have a hearing.
Well, I'll tell you what, we are all holding our breath and saying our prayers, trying to.
Right. Well, and if we had a hearing, it could be remanded back to federal court, which would open up investigation where the information could be used for referrals to the Department of Justice. So it's about investigation. So,
well, I'll tell you what.
President Trump has endorsed the Brunson case twice on his Truth Social account. So it's not over.
Yeah, in fact, I remember seeing a picture on the back of this particular book. You want to share that with everybody?
Yes.
What
Our
does that say?
Commander-in-Chief, he's the #1 protector and defender of our Constitution. And this is a quote from him on the back of this coffee table-sized Constitution book. And he says, quote, "As President, my highest duty is to protect the American people and the Constitution of the United States of America." There we go. That's his job. His oath of office really is his job description. And every U.S. senator, House member, right down to the local level with our representatives, that is their job description, is the oath to the Constitution.
You bet. You bet. Well, this is fantastic. I appreciate you being here at the conference and being willing to come and speak and share this information. But hopefully, through the power of the internet, we can actually get even to more people. It's been a fantastic conference. We've been having a good time here, but this out far and wide.
Sure, and I just wanted to mention, if people want to get this book, they can go to TrumpConstitution.com, which takes people to my 7 Discovery site, and they can get one of these. They can get the pocket-sized version, and they can also get an exact copy of one of the 387 summonses and complaints. This is Kamala Harris's summons and complaint. I printed a bunch of these so people can get this at my website, and they can also get the Supreme Court appeal from the website too at TrumpConstitution.com.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I do have to share one last thing. It's on the back of one of the earlier printings.
Well, this is a current one with that's my version. That's my picture,
Yeah, but this is a mutual friend of ours, Ron Mann, who was a speechwriter actually for President Reagan. And he was
a special assistant for President Reagan for 4 years.
I had the opportunity, one time I went up to Idaho, and after he kind of retired from government and so forth, went up to Idaho, and he spent an entire day with me showing artifacts and things that he had.
He has amazing
stuff. I mean, just absolutely stunning. But that he would kind of stoop to my level.
He was the most approachable, nicest guy I've ever met.
But this is a quotation from him. He says, "This publication of the U.S. Constitution contains the information and power needed to stamp out socialism and save the Constitution. I believe that Loy Brunson is probably the first in U.S. history to effectively identify, explain, and connect certain powerful clauses that have been overlooked for nearly 200 years in the U.S. Constitution, that you can now show to your family, friends, and especially your representatives in Congress. Signed Ron Mann.
Yes.
Deputy Director, Commission on the Bicentennial of the United States Constitution.
Yes.
He passed away a few years ago.
He did. And he said over 200 years it's been overlooked.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And he did pass away, but what a patriot.
Yeah.
Amazing man.
Yep. And anyway, so he's from my neck of the woods, actually, down in San Pete County, Utah.
Okay.
But listen, Loy, we applaud you. We're grateful for your willingness to stand up and kind of put yourself in the crosshairs. But I understand you also have had a potential invitation to help get this information out even in greater numbers. One of the really great newscasters, if you will, of our.
I mentioned that a little bit.
If it's okay
Sure.
with him and you.
Yeah. Patrick, I'm sure it's okay. Patrick Byrne introduced me to Tucker Carlson quite a long time ago. And so
I love Tucker.
So,
he's so down
so
to earth.
I got thinking just a while back, several weeks ago, I got thinking I should send him a picture of the front and the back of this book because it's a new book.
Yeah.
And I want it to be on every coffee table in America. And so I sent that to him with the message that this is the only publication that proves clearly that socialism is unconstitutional, and it shows that clause that prohibits it, and it needs to be in every home in America. And I got one word back from him immediately. It was the best word possible. It was amen. It's like, great. So I said, awesome. I said, I'd like to meet with you. And he said, let's get together in September.
All right.
So they're working on scheduling me to meet with Tucker Carlson this month so that we can.
So keep your eyes peeled for Tucker Carlson having an interview here with Loy Brunson in regard to the lawsuit, this book, and everything else. But we have got to stand for what's right, or we'll, it's just like the founding father said, if we don't stand for what's right and good, then we will fall for anything.
That's right. And Thomas Jefferson said the only true corrective for constitutional abuse is education. And this is so simple because it highlights these clauses, and with the questions and answers in the back of this book, it's an education saving years of study that you can see in minutes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Listen, thank you so much, Loy,
Thank
for
you.
being here, being
Great.
part of this, and
Thank you, Rod.
we're going to help you get your message out.
Great. Thanks, Rod. It's great being
Love
here.
you,
Thank
brother.
you.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe if you like some of the information and the awesome people that we have that come and support our event here, and we want to support them and all that they're doing. So in that case, we have bookofmormonevidence.org. We have a firm foundation that we do this from, but tell us where we can find more information from you.
TrumpConstitution.com takes you to 7discoveries.com, and there's also a LoyBrunson.com if you want to write a letter to Congress about the Federal Reserve needs to be cleaned up and supporting the Supreme Court case.
All right. So there you have it, everybody. Okay, till next time, keep the faith.
Thank you. Thank you, Rod.
Thanks.
All right.